This is Respondus 4.0, and I've been using Respondus for decades. I really like it as a test maker. Tests that you create using this can easily be imported into Blackboard and Blackboard Ultra. I've used the first 5 options. If I've already made a file, I can open it and change it. I can create a new file. But here's the golden thing right here, a test bank network. When you click on this one, every time I'm given a new textbook to teach from, I write to Respondus, give them the name of the textbook, and they give me the entire test bank for whichever course I'm teaching. For example, this semester I'm teaching out of Merriam's book by Pearson. I'm also teaching out of Campbell's biology book. And last semester I was teaching out of Saladin's book. Within a day of contacting Respondus, they will send me a file code and a password, and I can download all of the test bank using this option right here. When I want to make a final exam, I go into Exam Wizard and just open up old tests that I've made before and just pull questions from those so I can have a comprehensive exam without having to retype anything. And the last one that I use is import questions. So sometimes I just want to type up a test as a text file, and then I just import it into this. It massages it, does what I need it to do, and then it publishes it in a document with answers, or what we need for Blackboard, it publishes it as a zip file that we can directly put into Blackboard. I'm going to select questions from one of the publisher's text banks. Click Next. Create a new file or work on one I've already been working on. So I'm going to start a new one. Give it a name, test, and a description. Chapter 4. Next. Then I pick whichever test bank I want. So I'm going to pick Campbell. Which one do I want? I think I'll do chapter 7. Nope, chapter 4. Here are the questions. You can skim through the questions, or you can go to expanded view, and it will show you the question, the possible choices, and what the correct answer is. Simply click on the questions you want and add to the end of list. So now these have been added to my test. I can continue adding more test questions, and I don't have to use the same test bank. I can get questions from all the different textbooks that I have. When I've added all the questions that I want to my test, I just hit Finish. And now it gives me the option of editing, so I can look through the questions and change them. I can type in a question if I forgot to put one in, or if I don't have enough questions to make an even number. I can choose if I want to add multiple choice, true and false, essays, matching, putting things in order, filling a blank, multiple answers, and more. And after I've got all the questions that I want, I can go to Settings. I can decide if I want it to be random. I can click on Other Settings and put in feedback options. I can have the questions presented all at once, one at a time. Of course, we can set these other things once we get into Blackboard. So I usually don't do any of these other settings. Then you have the option of previewing or publishing. So previewing shows you what your test is going to look like. There you go. And then there's the next one. So you can look and see what questions that you put in, see if you like it. You get another chance to go back and edit if you find that you would like to change something around a little bit. When you're happy with your preview, go ahead and close it and go back to the publish. You can publish to Blackboard, so that's the one that I want to. You can set up Respondus to directly put your test into your Blackboard course, but what I do is I go to save the pool to a local file so that I can manually upload it. So I do this and then press next. And I choose where I want to save the pool. And I'm going to pick BCTC this semester. And I'm going to save it as a test. And as you see, it's saving it as a zip file. I use the default of a pool with no points, but you could make it a test with points if you wanted to. And then hit finish. And it's successful. Then if you want to, you can go to print options and you can print the exam as a Word document, the exam with an answer key, or just print the answer key alone. I closed out of Respondus, and now I'm going into my KCTCS, and I'm going to open one of my classes, Fundamentals of Artificial Intelligence. Now that I'm in my Blackboard course, I'm going to go down here to the very bottom left to where it says Question Banks, Manage Banks. I'm going to click on that. And it says I can use a question bank to share questions between multiple assessments, and I can import question banks from other courses and resources. So I'm going to open this and import my zip file from here. So it'll take a second to upload the zip, and there's my test right there. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and close out of this, and I'm going to go over to my test folder right here, and I'm going to click right here in my test folder, and I'm going to create a test. I'm going to go over, create a test. I'm going to name it test for chapter 4. Okay, and I have test for chapter 4. And right here it says load. So I'm going to go and add my question pool. I'm going to go over to my question pool, and over here there's the question bank, and there's the test that I just made as a zip file. So that's the one I'm going to put in. Here are the questions right there. And I can say, yeah, I want all of them. So I'm going to select all of them because I want both of the questions that I put in that test. And I'm going to add the questions to my test. So there they are. Now I've added my questions. Now all I have to do is the normal stuff that we normally do. We go over and we can say the date. So I want to do tomorrow, and I'm going to call it a test. I'm going to see how much the tests are worth. Now, right now, it automatically defaults to 10 points. So, since I have 2 questions and I want it to be worth 100 points, I'm going to change this one. So, I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to edit. I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to say, no, I want these to be worth 50 points each. Oops, 50 points each, not 150. Okay, 50 points. All right, and then I'm going to hit save again. All right, so now I have a test. Each question is worth 50 points, and it's going to be a total of 100 points. So everything else you just do like you normally do. You set the date. You can turn off them being able to see the correct answers. You can add the lockdown browser like you normally do. You can add a time limit. So everything else is exactly like what we normally do. And then you just hit save, and you're done.